are live. It's live, guys. That's funny.
Let's go. We're gonna start, Bruce.
Okay.
Line a flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Go find a flag. It's better than go fly a kite, I guess.
All right, okay. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I will second that motion.
Okay, call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Bulls eye.
Perfect. How about 2 sets of minutes?
I read both.
I looked them over and I didn't see any corrections.
Okay,
I'll second that.
okay, call for a vote on the minutes.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Bulls eye.
All right. Approve the claims. Any questions?
I went through the claims last night. I didn't see anything that jumped out at me.
Haley, I got a couple.
Okay.
Mine's pretty simple. I'll show it to you. I caught this. Maybe you can explain it to me on the phone bills here. I looked at the numbers here. Okay,
Yeah, those are different invoices.
yep,
That one's the same though.
yep. And then. Nope, nope, nope. These numbers, and these numbers are identical.
Different amounts though, see? We're breaking them down by different line
So
items.
it's 2 different months?
That's the weed, and that's conservation within the departments.
Okay,
So it's probably off the same invoice, but we're breaking it out, how we're
Okay.
paying it out of a different line item.
okay, I
Yep.
understand now.
Different fund and different lines, but same invoice.
Okay,
So it's just lumped together in one check.
okay, got it. Understood. My questions have been answered, so can I get,
The only one I was looking at was secondary roads to Brown's, Brown's Heavy Equipment, 21,000 and 24. Was that for 2 separate pieces of equipment? It was all in the same day. What was,
Brown's equipment,
yes,
yeah.
let me look, hold on.
I thought we had a grader that went down, but I didn't know if we had,
well, we had 2 of them went down, I remember that.
okay, then that's probably what those were for, I would
Brown.
assume.
Brown's heavy equipment.
Yes,
Says labor and parts, both of them. Let me look.
Yeah. So they were, we believe that was for the graders?
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna
believe so.
I'll pull up the invoice here.
Okay,
he's gonna look it up.
yeah. That's all, that's the only thing it really wasn't an issue, I just wondered what that was for, so. But,
And actually Myron will be here if you really wanted to know more.
Oh, that's right.
yeah,
Okay.
no, I'm fine. I would make a motion to, accept the
Bills,
expense report.
okay,
I'll second that.
call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Bullseye.
Looks like it was parts and labor for, I guess it really doesn't tell me more what it's for, what machine. A cat something, probably a motor grader,
Yeah.
but yeah, okay. We'll
Okay.
know more about tomorrow's in
Very
here.
good.
Moving on, we got auditor's report, fees collected. So I would obtain a motion to approve the quarterly report for the auditor.
Have it right. It's this one.
Do you have a copy of that?
$156.
I don't know that I scanned all that to you, Bruce. Sorry.
I don't believe I saw that. no.
Okay,
She's got on here, mainly it was plat book fees that she sold out of the auditor's office for $156.
No, okay, that's
You don't
fine.
make a lot of money in our office.
I'll make the motion to approve the
I'll
auditors.
second it since I'm here. So
That sounds good.
I'll call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Bullseye.
And you want that folded and
Thirds, yep.
initialed on the front or orange?
Just on the back somewhere. Yeah, sorry Bruce, I didn't get back in the office till this morning, so I haven't scanned all those to you.
No problem.
I did send you the insurance thing though this morning, did you get that?
I did get that, yes.
Okay. Yep, those were on
Thank you.
my desk when I got to the office too.
Sheriff's quarterly report. That's a fairly thick one. Just going through all this, we can look at it later. But basically,
Looks like they sold a house, or two actually.
this is from October 1st of 2025 through December 31st of 2025. And I'm sure you don't have that either, do you, Bruce?
I do not have it in front of me.
He doesn't have any of
That's
those
fine.
that are in there.
That's fine, you're okay. Total money that they received in that quarter was $303,491.13 is what the sheriff received for that quarter.
Was that mostly from the feds for housing inmates?
274,000, what was that for?
That was out of a trust, so that would have been a house, I'm guessing.
For inmates?
No,
No?
Which one is he looking at? Should break it out in here for you. Those are just the miscellaneous receipts they took into the treasurer. So it could be a combination of things.
well, there's a big one right there.
I know he got some grant stuff. It could be just the regular collections from December too. It's a variety of things, probably, right?
I'm guessing so.
I know he had some grants that he got reimbursed for some training and stuff too.
Okay. Did you hear that, Bruce?
But that's,
Right, so it's a combination of.
Everything.
Multiple things.
Yeah. Anywhere from gun permits to,
December was a good month for him.
yeah.
Will we at some point see a breakdown as to?
Yeah, I can-
Exactly where that?
Yep, I'll scan all this too if you'd like.
The big one is the civil income.
Well, you got this in his packet, right?
Yep, it's in your
You can look at it
packet,
when you
but
get back, buddy.
Sure, that works for me.
It'll be in your packet, so
Okay.
since you can't see it, I'll make a motion to approve the sheriff's quarterly report.
And I'll second the motion.
And I will call for a vote next.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Bullseye.
Okay. Recorder's quarterly report. Okay, total money that she brought in was $56,122.45. Biggest chunk of change that she brought in was the transfer tax, $14,903, and recording of Instrom, $26,160. And everything else was passport fees, another fairly nice one, $5,765. So grand total of $56,122.45. So I'll make a motion on that to approve the county recorder's quarterly report.
And I'll second that motion.
Call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Bullseye.
Okay. Melinda, sorry about that. I didn't
Oh, wow.
realize it was a timed item.
It's fine.
That was my mistake.
Her semi-annual's in there.
There's her report. Gonna take care of that first, Tracy?
Discuss update board's treasurer's office closure due to training.
Yeah, April 15th, the DOT is doing hands-on fraud training. We haven't done that since I did driver's license in the back room, so that's been a long time.
Yeah,
And it's good where they show us fraudulent birth certificates, titles, all of that stuff. They said it's gonna be April 15th in Eastern Iowa. I assume it's gonna be in Cedar Rapids. They haven't released where it's at yet, but we're all gonna go. Cause it's a pretty important training.
Tabletop.
so you're gonna close both sides? of the
Yes,
building?
yeah,
Okay.
and I already have it on the website.
Okay,
I'll make signs and I will put it in the paper too.
okay, I understand that. I have no problem with that. So do you want a motion to go ahead and approve you closing April 15th?
I think I just have to let you know.
Okay,
Let's just acknowledge it, that way the public will put it in the minutes though, too,
Yeah.
Okay.
that you're acknowledging it.
okay, we're acknowledged that the treasurer's office will be closed April 15th for training.
Yes,
How's that?
thank you.
Okay, now your semi-report. Did Bruce have to get that one? No, that's fine.
I might have, because you gave me that
I
one
gave you
Friday.
last
He
week,
can look
yeah.
at that when he gets back.
Yeah.
It's not gonna change, so.
I would make the motion to accept the treasurer's semi-annual report.
I will second that, and I will call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Bullseye.
I'll get them to sign that.
Yeah, and then just put one in
Yep.
mine, just put a copy in
Yep,
mine.
and then I'll scan it to the newspaper for you.
Yeah, awesome, thank you.
Because if you want me to wait till next week, I'll get Bruce's signature.
It's okay.
You want one of these signed now, or wait till Bruce is back?
You can, well, we need two, but then I'll
Yeah.
get Bruce's signature next week.
Okay, so sign it now so you can get it in the paper.
Well, I'll wait till I have a signature on it till the paper.
Okay.
We'll catch him, assuming he'll be back next week. Thanks. You want to sign another one?
Yeah, I'll sign one more.
Tracy's.
I'll sign Tracy's. I'll give you your pen back.
That's fine.
I'll give you two copies to sign.
Okay. Done.
There you go.
Thank you. Yep.
Good, we're running through this.
Is that a Tuesday, or what day is that, April 15th?
It's a Wednesday.
Okay. I'll put that
I
in.
prefer it to Tuesday because that's a slower mail day, but the DOT doesn't listen.
Okay. Haley.
Yep.
Number 10, appoint members to the Benton County Land Use Adjustment Board.
Yep, that was actually wrong. Getting to that on.
Cool.
We got in a hurry last week and skipped over that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Imagine that.
I was able to talk to Steve Runyon, and he's willing to do it again.
Okay. So are you gonna make that motion?
I'll make the motion to appoint Steve Runyon to the Land Use Adjustment Board.
I'll second that then. Call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye?
Bullseye.
Perfect. Okay. Number 12, rescind action appointing a Big Grove clerk and trustee. We had the Cook couple that do not want to, at first they said yes, now they say no.
Yes.
So I guess I will make a motion to rescind the action that we appointed Mark and Kim Cook, township trustee and clerk.
I'll second that motion.
So can I call for a vote on that?
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Bullseye.
Okay, now, I'll make a motion to, appoint, let's see, we gotta do them separate, don't we? Haley, we can't throw them together technically, or can we?
You probably could, I guess, because
Okay.
you're resending it together.
To appoint Randy Jansen of Van Horn, as trustee, and his wife Catherine Jensen as clerk of Big Grove.
It's Catherine with a C, I think, right?
I think so, yes. I have her number 2, said I will pass it on after the meeting, so,
Update our board.
yes, okay? That's my
Also-
motion.
I'll second the motion.
Okay. Call for a vote on that.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Bullseye.
Perfect. Well, we'll run through it pretty fast. Reports, I guess, the only thing we can comment on. Nothing?
Nothing.
Bruce?
I did not have anything last week. I do have the Heartland trustee meeting on Thursday. I'll be arriving back in town tomorrow afternoon late, so.
Okay.
I did have the Board of Health Friday morning, and we have our final application
Okay,
for the Board of Health, which we will get on for next week.
perfect.
And then they're presenting their budget next week, too.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. I had conservation last night, so. And Shelby be coming in to present the budgets for conservation and IRM.
I think, I emailed you all those budgets, right, Bruce?
Did you get all the budgets that Haley emailed Bruce?
I did, yes.
Okay,
I'll just start sending them like a couple days before we present, that way you have everything. And
Great,
then,
yeah,
then
no,
you'll
I
have
have those.
the paper copy when you get here.
Okay, thank you.
how's the weather out there?
That's nice, actually, yeah. It's in the 60s during the day, high 60s, so yeah.
What part of California are you?
I'm in Los Altos, south of San Francisco, about 25, 30 minutes. Real close to Stanford University.
We're talking it's gonna hit maybe 50 here today, and then crash tonight.
Yes.
I heard snow this weekend, though.
Yep,
It's Iowa, right?
yep.
Did you do that to the recorder? Oh, you're working on this. Good job. show the back.
I missed one? I missed one.
And the sheriff's too, I need those. Or he might have put, did you put them in your folder?
Yeah, I think they're in the folder,
Yes.
so you might have a extra.
This is one of the things the auditors do look at, that we approve them in the meetings, and I usually have to scan them to them, so.
Okay.
So it's not done in vain, we do have to do some with them.
Checks and rechecks, correct? Is the landline plugged in?
Appears like it.
Okay.
I'm gonna get him hooked up here in a second.
We got 9 minutes yet to go.
We have quite a few coming on. Back in November, I talked with the library board, and that was my error. They were supposed to, I thought, come today, but it somehow wasn't on the agenda, so.
Okay.
They're coming the 27th.
Okay.
How they come and present. Got some other departments coming next week again. Some bigger ones. So I'm just kind of getting them as they turn them into me, presenting to you guys.
We're really ahead of schedule, ain't we, compared to years past?
Yep,
That's what I feel like.
I appreciate that, especially right now when I'm laid up from home. When I'm sitting at home back and forth, this is stuff I can do easily from my home.
Okay.
So the only thing is you'll have to tell me when you want to act on the wages and that kind of stuff.
Did we ever do a point? Shelley? Get her on for next week?
I'm still looking.
Didn't agree to it yet.
Still looking.
Just a hint.
Well, we had a gentleman that used to sit there every meeting, and we told we were gonna appoint him to the conservation board.
Haven't seen him, have we?
Well,
Is that your tactic to get rid of people?
well, no, we hope not.
So would you be interested in the landfill board?
I haven't made that decision yet.
Really?
I have not, but I've been out of state for a month.
We're still missing one person.
He's so
Actually,
convincing, isn't he?
Yeah.
how about if I invite you just to come down to a meeting? How about that?
You already did that.
I know, but I'll do it again. If you come to a meeting and see what goes on, and then go from there.
What are the meetings again?
It'll be the third Thursday of the month. So it will be the, yeah, boy, it's gonna be this week. The 15th. At 6:30 in Van Horn, next to the fire station. This Thursday.
Everybody walks in, they aren't gonna trip, right?
You're in?
What?
What? What do you need for information before you say yes? I know you're not shy.
I had it. Was that one pushed in okay there? It's kind of loose there, wasn't it? It was up there once. There we go. You got the magic touch, Tracy. It's got my desk camera on there at work. Hi. You want to grab one? Here. Oh, yeah, he's on.
Take Bruce's spot.
I'm good.
I know. I can turn the camera off once he gets going.
Yeah.
That's what it was doing yesterday. I was from home, remoted in on a Zoom, and I was telling them that it was like, showed the camera from my office. Still coming up. It was funny.
Good thing we went back there.
Like I'm spying on you.
Can you hear me, Ellen?
I can. Can you hear us? Maybe not. Hold on.
There you go.
I should have brought that camera over.
That one, I know, because it's like the mic on here. Hold on.
Okay, that sounds great. I'll just wait
Yeah, I'm trying to get mine.
for you.
Alicia, do you know? This is a different laptop, sorry guys. I told him we can hear him if he wants to start. Says I have it. What does it say? Multiple calls are using your mic. Go to the app's microphone to unmute. Start typing microphone.
Proposal,
Says none.
Yeah, they're just working on, they can hear us, but they're just working out a few things tech-wise, so.
I haven't done it on this laptop yet. It's my new laptop.
Not all laptops have them, but
No,
can't click on that.
they're so open. Says it's on. Over here it says on.
Yeah. Teams. So you're using-
No, I think it's a Teams.
You know, if there's a bracket broke on the side, the one with the big pipes that go out, because I got the paper in there, that would rather than, and that motor could be oil, so I have to look at that.
No, that one's
I
not.
think that's the one.
That's because you're remoted in, it's
I think that's
pulling
what
it
it
off your other camera.
And if we could call him on this phone so we could hear him.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that'd be great.
So he can hear us, right? If I call it.
That's it, because you're remoted in, it's technically your desktop.
That's what it did to me yesterday, and
That's why you're seeing your, both of those cameras. Then you got it.
Yeah, I agree.
all right, so I'm gonna call it in from here. Sorry, guys. Should have had my old laptop here and it would have worked. Hi, Myron. Technical difficulties. Or user error.
Welcome to the audio conferencing center. Please enter a conference ID followed by pound. To continue in English, press 1. Para español, presione 2. To continue in English, press 1. Para español, presione 2.
Can you hear us, Ryan?
To continue in English, press 1.
Why isn't it going?
Para español, presione 2. Welcome to the audio conferencing center. Please enter a conference ID followed by pound.
I did, guys, sorry.
Sorry, I didn't get that. Please enter a conference ID and then press pound. Sorry, I can't find a meeting with that number. Try entering your conference ID again and then press pound.
791?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see that one.
288. 323.
After the tone, please record your name and then press pound.
Haley.
You're now joining the meeting.
Haley,
is now in. Is now in. Is now in. Is now
You can hear us, I can hear myself.
You can hear us, I can hear myself. You can hear us, I can hear myself.
We can hear you, Haley. We can also hear it like echo.
Is that better?
4 times after you speak.
Is that better?
That's way better.
Okay, it was your volume on your computer too. Well, I think we got the computer going after I called you, so. Sorry about that. It's a new laptop and I haven't done Zoom from it yet from in here.
No problem. I just appreciate you being able to accommodate a virtual meeting this morning, so.
No problem, we
It
also.
usually takes a few minutes to get all the IT set up.
Well, I had this part going ahead of time, so I knew I was locked in, but we also have a supervisor that's called in, so he's remotely listening in today too.
Okay, but he's on the call now?
Yep, so we have all 3 board members.
Can you hear Bruce?
Okay. And then,
Yes.
are you able to share my screen as well?
Yep,
And
yep.
then see what,
We're all looking at it on a big TV in the boardroom.
okay, all right, well, we'll get started then. Good morning, everyone. My name's Ryan Bourbon, and I also have with me a colleague, Eric Willis. He's new on the consulting side of the ISAC program, so he's going to be joining and just listening in this morning to the conversation as we talk about your fiscal year 27 renewal for Benton County. Before we get into the slides, and everyone should have a proposal in front of them, and then the one supervisor joining virtually will just have to follow through on the slides that I'll share. The ISAC program did make some changes for the first time, and really since we've worked with the program, so since about 2018 or 2017. We have all new plan design, so the existing plans, all but one of those are changed. And so we've mapped your group to the plan that we think is most comparable to the plan that you offered previously. And then we're only looking at moving forward 2 years of claims data versus 3. And we took some input from a number of independent actuarial firms that said looking back 3 years was just too historical of data to look at to really rate a group moving forward. And also with the timing of ISAC, where we renew your group 7 to 8 months before we actually have an effective date, we were looking at data that was almost 4 years old. So we're only looking at 2 years, and actually for your group this year, moving from a 3 to 2 year look back did help you. We lost a higher loss ratio year for the year that would have been included this year that no longer is. So that actually was to your advantage this year. So everyone that has a proposal can follow along in that proposal and take notes. But the second page is a table of contents. So we have 6 tabs for those of you that have binders. And you can see the different, all the different tabs and the information we'll cover in each of those. This next slide is the fiscal year 27 renewal forecast. So this will list all of your different benefits, and then the carrier in the middle with the percentage change for renewal. Your health plan with Walmart through the ISAC Group Benefits Program is a negative 1.1. And as I was reviewing your group, and I'll go into this in more detail, ISAC actually had a formula error when they came out and released your renewal rates in their letter. And Haley, you would have gotten this right before Thanksgiving.
Yep.
It would have been sent.
From Brad Holton.
Your group actually got a better renewal than what you should have gotten. You should have gotten about a 1.5% increase, but you're actually, they're going to honor the negative 1.1 that was sent in the letter, and I'll explain how that happened once we get to the medical section. Your partial self-fund is at a rate guarantee for the admin fees, so those admin fees are not changing next year. Dental's a 1.3 increase. Vision's at a rate guarantee or a 0% renewal. Your group term life and voluntary life with Madison National, we do not have a renewal yet because we're still 5.5 months before the effective date. So as soon as we get those, we'll send them over. Historically, we've not seen any rate change on those Madison National Life products. And then both Voya products, the voluntary AD&D with Reliance Matrix, all three of those products are in a rate guarantee. And then the ISAC Group Health Program will continue to pay for your ISAC through your COBRA administration moving forward. So there's no cost to you as the county. Okay, now we should be on tab 1. For those of you that have the renewal binder, we're going to be on tab 1. Just a review of the ISAC program. And I like to just touch on these every year as we go out and we meet with you to talk about what's happened in the program over the last 12 months. The health program went from 28 counties to 31, so we had 3 new counties join. And currently, for July 1 of 26, so for FY 27, we're currently underwriting 5 more counties. Now, it's probably unlikely that all 5 will join, but we do have competitive rates right now on 3 of the 5, so I do see the pool continuing to grow as we move forward. Dental and vision, those counts are up. We've had more counties join those programs. And then on the right-hand side, the complementary benefits, ISAC continuing to pay and support a very robust wellness program. They pay for employee-only accident and critical illness if you're enrolled in the health plan. COBRA administration, again, is free and at no cost to the county, along with consolidated billing. And then all of our consulting services in the bottom right-hand corner are included in your ISAC rate. So there's no additional cost to the county to have our agency involved in providing, day-to-day consulting and customer service help for your staff.
We appreciate that very much. Alicia's in here also, so.
Very good. I'm very spoiled, and Eric, I think, is starting to see that. We have a really good team, and we dedicate a lot of resources to our counties, and we work with so many of them, and we've really, over time, figured out the best way to help support you guys, so I appreciate that feedback. The slide shown here is the current wellness program for 2026. It looks very familiar to 2025. The county discount that you can receive is under the program structure at the top. So up to a 4% discount if we have 80% of employees complete their physical, and then another percent for a total of 5 if you have 60% of employees do the health risk assessment, that online assessment through the Mercy portal. Your county, and it looks like you got 4% for the last 2 years, so you're doing a good job. I'm not sure if it's, and maybe Haley, would you know if it's from the assessment or that 80% threshold where we're missing just that 1%?
Yeah, I think we were just short 1 employee doing a physical this year. So.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, so you were very close, it sounds like, to the max.
Yep.
But that will be an opportunity next year. If you get the full 5%, they'll take an additional % off any renewal increase that would be applied. So you do have an opportunity to improve there. ISAC will continue to give $20 per contract for each county to hold their own wellness initiatives, lunch and learns, bringing in financial services vendors to talk about retirement planning, things like that. You can use those dollars for. And then at the bottom for the employee incentives, ISAC will continue with the walking challenge. So it's $1 a day for every day you reach 10,000 steps. In addition, they're going to offer 50 cents a day for every day that someone reaches 7,500 steps or more. So that's new, the 7,500 step, 50-cent reimbursement. Also new, there's a $25 reimbursement for the completion of a mental health training. And then the $100 physical reimbursement will remain the same, and that's paid through Voya. We hope that we'll have, the carrier's still not confirmed that those have been mailed for 2025, but they should soon. So hopefully in the next 30 days, we'll have all of those mailed out to everyone that did complete their physical. And then a $25 reimbursement for the online assessment.
Okay, perfect.
Any questions about the wellness program?
Nope. I think we're good there.
Okay. All right, the next slide, and it's pulled up in the wrong way here, but this is the new EAP vendor. It's called All One Health. They acquired CareBridge, so it's still the same program. You get, every employee has a confidential phone number that they can call in to start the process to working with and finding a therapist, either in a virtual setting or in their community, for mental health, life coaching, financial coaching. There's a legal component to this. The biggest thing we need to make sure our employees understand, they have this benefit available at no cost. ISAC spends $40,000 to $50,000 a year for all counties as part of the program, supporting this EAP. So we just need to make sure payroll stuffers, we have this posted on Employee Navigator, any way that we can remind employees that they have this confidential resource that's at no cost to them available. All right, now we should be on tab 2. And this tab is going to be our agency compensation and fee disclosure statement. And I'm going to go to page 3 of 7. And so every year, consulting firms like ourselves, we have to disclose to clients how we get paid by line of coverage for any renewal product or prospective product that we're considering and showing you as an available option. So we have 3 different lines of coverage where Benton County would be the employer of record. We have a group term life, a voluntary group term life, and then the TPA fee for the partial self-fund. A part of the fee that you pay, there's a broker fee involved of $2.50, and then 10% of the voluntary life and group term life. These are all the current commissions that are in your products today, so we're not proposing any change for renewal. The medical, dental, and vision, all of those products run through ISAC as the employer of record, and that's why they're not shown here. And this would be similar to prior years. Any questions on this at all?
Oh, I don't. Do you guys?
Looks good.
Okay. All right, now we're going to go to tab 3. This is going to be your medical renewal. And this first page, the rate adjustment utilization key, is going to look different than it's looked in prior years. As I mentioned when we started the conversation, we're only looking at 2 years of data now as opposed to 3. So on the left-hand side of this sheet, you'll have fiscal year 24 and 25. We'll show each month for those 2 fiscal years with the claims paid and then the premium collected to the right. So you'll see a claims paid total for fiscal year 24 of just over 1.7. The collected premium was just below 1.9, so you were profitable for the association that year. You'll see at the bottom of that page, the fiscal year 24 loss ratio was 90%, so that was a very good year. Fiscal year 25, the data flipped a little bit. We ran at just over 100 at 108%. So you have a 2-year average of 99. So you're basically a break even for the association over the last 24 months. If we take that 99% and we go up in the upper right-hand corner to this chart, you'll look under the 2-year average loss ratio and find where that 99% should fall. And that's falling right here, if you can see my cursor, at 1.000 of base rate. The bucket that you're in currently, and when we did the new underwriting strategy, we expanded from 7 buckets to 13. You're currently in bucket 7, which is the base rate. Now the 99% should have put you still at the base rate, but as I mentioned, ISAC had an incorrect formula in their Excel spreadsheet that bumped you to bucket 8, which is 0.975% of base rate, which is a reduction, which is, in essence, it's better for the county that you got bumped to bucket 8. Again, this was done incorrectly, but ISAC is going to honor your rate for next year.
It's basically got our
So if you continue down, the loss ratio adjustment, currently you're bucket 7, so 1.0. You're going to bucket 8, so 0.975. Your wellness stayed the same at a 4%. So you're going from an overall discount ratio of 96 to 93.5. Now that doesn't mean your rates are going to go down 2.5%, because all the plans change and all of those base rates change from last year to fiscal year 27. So on the next page, we have an overview that will show you on an aggregate basis all of the costs. So we have your total premium through ISAC currently at just over $2 million, reducing by 1.1% to $1,989,000. The budgeted HRA, so we're buying down the deductible today from $5,000 to a lower employee deductible. The plans are changing, and so we're going to recommend that you budget more for your partial self-fund, and we'll talk about that on the next page. So from a total cost perspective, you're just over a 2%. Of this $2.4 million, employees pay about $428,000, and the county's paying just under $2 million of that total. So about an 80-20 split, 85-15 split on what the county's paying versus the employee.
That's pretty nice.
Okay, so this page here will show your current plan versus the new MAP plan with ISAC for the next year. So your current plan is ISAC Plan 17. And I want to point out the differences. You're going to move to Plan 2. They're both on the same network, the Iowa Point of Service. So there's going to be no change in how employees access their practitioners, hospital access, using the pharmacy benefit. None of that's going to change from a provider standpoint. What will change is the out-of-pocket maximum. So the plan you have today are the $6,350 out-of-pocket max. And then you as the employer fund a maximum of $5,350 for single and $10,700 for family. And that's your partial self-fund. So the net out-of-pocket for the employee for a single is $1,000, for a family is $2,000. Now the renewal plan has an increased out-of-pocket maximum for the health plan, and that's going from $6,350 to $7,500 for single. So if the county is going to keep the employee's $1,000 the same, the county is going to have some additional liability. If an employee has a large claim, the county, instead of spending $5,350 through the partial self-fund, you'll spend $6,500. And so on this back page here, the reason we showed an increase in your partial self-fund budget is because of this increase in the out-of-pocket maximum. Same thing for family. You go from $12,700 to $1,500 or to $15,000. Your maximum risk for a family goes from $10,700 to $13,000. One other change to note, we've made a slight change in the Tier 2 and Tier 3 copay on the drug card. So currently you have a 10, 20, 45 for Tiers 1 through 3. We're going to 10, 30, and 60. And the reasoning for this change, we've not had a pharmacy change in 8 years. And we've seen just a dramatic increase in overall pharmaceutical expense. So this by no means is sharing equally in that increase in cost. But I did want to keep up with what we thought was really the norm in the industry, and we made some slight copay increases on the pharmacy card. The last 3 copays shown are going to be only for specialty drugs, which represent about 1% of your overall utilization. And for those drug copays, we have a separate program called PrudenRx that members can join, where those copays are waived if they join the program. And at this point, we believe everyone that's eligible to join that PrudenRx program is a part of it. So I wouldn't pay too much attention or give too much merit to those copay increases. We really want to focus on the Tier 2 and 3 change. Those are the changes that will impact employees. One thing to note for those increasing copays, they will track now towards this $1,000 out-of-pocket maximum. So this is one of the things that we need to look at the very bottom here. Your current Plan 17 has a separate pharmacy out-of-pocket maximum of $1,250 for single and $2,500 for family. So today, if someone has a medical claim, you have your medical bucket that tracks towards the $63.50. If they have pharmacy copays, they're treated separately. So someone that has a lot of pharmacy and medical claims, today they're paying the $1,000 for the medical and then up to $1,250 for the pharmacy. So the maximum combined total an employee could pay today is $2,250. Your new plan, we've modernized all of these plans, and I would say the standard today in 2026, the medical and pharmacy are now combined. And so that's what we've done with the new plan. Your pharmacy out-of-pocket maximum is now integrated with the medical. So all of these copays will track towards your $1,000 out-of-pocket maximum with your partial self-fund. So I just want to pause for a moment, and certainly if anyone has questions, your plan does have quite a few changes because you have an out-of-pocket maximum for pharmacy that's separate today that will be combined. For your employees, that's actually to their advantage if they have a lot of pharmacy and medical claims. And there's no disadvantage to the employee, so no one can lose in this change. Only employees can win.
Looks good to me.
Does anyone have questions?
None. Looks good.
Okay. So the next page will be the most important page that we look at, and this is how Haley has the partial self-funding, the budgeting set up to budget for all of this. And she's done a great job, and you as the board have taken our recommendations over the years. So your reserve fund for your partial self-fund has over $500,000 currently in that account. Based off these premiums down here below of $942 and $2105, that's what the county budgets today for all of your health insurance expense. Based on your enrollment of $38.82, you're going to put $2.5 million into your reserve. We're going to expense back out just under $2 million for your ISAC premium. That's going to leave just over $500,000 or $511. We're going to budget $394 in partial self-fund claims. There's a $15,000 administration fee. So if we hit this claim target, we should see your partial self-fund reserve actually go up over the next fiscal year. And that's with a 0% change in what your county is budgeting for healthcare expense. So this page shows you that you can keep the same exact budgeted expense for a single and family, and you should actually see your reserve go up over the next fiscal year.
And that's kind of how I had the department heads budget, the same like you and I talked, Ryan, so we should be good.
Yep. Haley and I connected a number of weeks ago, and just as you were starting those conversations. So, you're budgeting, you're overfunding what the liability is. It also helped you that your rates went down from ISAC over 1%, so that was to your advantage that those rates didn't go up. But even with a slight increase next year, it's probably unlikely that we're going to have to make much of a change in healthcare as we renew for fiscal year 28 when we meet in a year from now. Okay, if no one else has questions on the medical, we'll move on to all of the non-medical products. Okay. So tab 4 is where we're going to go next, and this is your dental renewal through ISAC. And there's no change to the plans for dental and vision. So ISAC Plan 4 will renew with the exact same benefits that you have today. There's a $2,000 annual benefit per person, along with a $2,000 orthodontia benefit for dependents below the age of 19. All preventative coverages and services are covered at 100%. The member pays $0. For basic, the member pays 20%, and for major services, the member pays 20%. And you can see some examples of what procedures would fall into each category. The rates at the bottom, the county pays 50% of single and family. So if we keep the same 50% contribution threshold, you'll see the new employee deductions on a monthly basis here in red. So very slight changes, $22.92 for the employee going to $23.50, $55.41 going to $56 for family. The total county expense is at the very top of this page. So $61.3 going to $62.112. So again, a pretty small annual premium change. And again, there's no change to the actual plan design. Last year, we included coverage for implants. So implants are a covered benefit. We also added Checkups Plus, which means your semi-annual teeth cleaning services do not reduce your $2,000 benefit per person. So in essence, if you get your teeth cleaned every 6 months, that $2,000 benefit is in reality about a $2,500 dental benefit, which is phenomenal and really hard to beat. Very few employers offer a dental benefit at that level. So this is a very good dental program. This next page shows the entire plan grid. You have the best plan that we offer all the way on the right-hand side, and you can see your rates shown in green here. You have the 50-50 rates, which means the county's paying half of the premium, which reduces the rate slightly when you do that. All right, the next page is going to be your vision renewal. It also has a 0% change and no change in the plan design. So you have the Delta Vision ISAC 130 plan, so it's a $10 exam copay annually, and then $130 allowance for contacts, or you can use it for the lens benefit, where you get $130 allowance for the frames, and then you have single through trifocal covered in full. Think of vision insurance really as a discount card. I don't even like to call it insurance. It's just going to help you pay less at the point of sale. And these premiums are not changing, and you can see the county again is paying half of the single and family rate. And then we'll have the dental grid, or the vision grid as well. Okay, this next slide is going to be tab 5. This will just be a review of your employer paid life and voluntary life. So currently the county pays for a $25,000 death benefit for all full-time eligible employees. We're currently covering 135 employees that are eligible with just over 3.3 million in volume. And you can see your total county cost is just over $9,000 annually. And again, we do not have the renewal for this yet, but I don't anticipate any change in rate.
Okay. This doesn't affect the individual departments anyway, so we're good. You can give me that later.
And then we have the voluntary life. This is for employees that want to buy additional life insurance through post-tax payroll deductions. Upon new hire, they have some guarantee issue limits shown here. But every employee can apply for this at open enrollment, subject to health underwriting questions. So if you pass on this upon initial eligibility and then want to enroll at open enrollment, you do have to answer some health questions. We do have 47 employees enrolled, 26 spouse contracts, and 19 children households are covered under the benefit today. Okay, and then we'll finish up with our last tab, tab 6. And this is going to be a review of the employer products, the accident and critical illness. So as I mentioned, as we looked at the ISAC overall flyer, ISAC is going to continue to pay for the employee-only accident policy for the core plan. So you'll see this premium shown as 0 is reflected that way because ISAC's paying that cost on the employee's behalf. And then if employees want to enroll their spouse, child, or full family, you can see the amount shown for the core plan, and then for the enhanced plan with slightly higher payouts. Employees not enrolled in the health plan, if you have any waivers today, they can also enroll. They would just have to pay that $7.10 for single, and then the remaining difference to enroll the rest of their family members.
Okay, I don't think we knew that before.
This has the $100 wellness, go ahead, Haley.
No, I don't think we knew we could have employees pay if they're not on our insurance. Did we know that for this?
They all do it through the portal, but
Oh, okay.
so we tell them that.
Okay,
cost,
that's good to know.
Which is nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, if we have any waivers, they can enroll in this benefit. They would just pay the $7.10 that ISAC is paying today
Yep.
for all employees enrolled in the health plan. But
Okay.
they do have access to that if you want to open that up and handle the payroll side of it. Yep. At the bottom here, just some important highlights. This includes the $100 wellness benefit. This coverage is 24 hours, which means if you're injured on or off the job and you seek treatment for that injury, this benefit is payable. It's also portable, so if you leave employment with the county, you can take this with you post-employment at the same cost with the same benefit design.
I honestly
The next
just
slide here is
used
just
it
a
for the
brief-
first time.
Go ahead, Haley.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I had an injury, obviously with my back surgery, and I've, for the first time, filed an accident claim, and it's legit, so
Very simple.
very simple to do.
It's a great program. I looked at a claim report recently. We've had about $500,000 in claim payments go back to members directly just from the accident program in the last 12 months. So, to your point, if you have an injury and you seek treatment for that because of an accident, there's significant payouts here. And then we also reimburse about 2,000 people for their wellness program every year through this program. So, it's been very well received, and it's nice to hear stories like yours where you're seeing the benefits of this program.
Yep, and I also wanted to do it so I could explain it.
Go ahead.
No, it's nice, I did it just so I understand the portal too, so it is very simple if anybody needs help doing something.
Yeah, it's not overly difficult to submit a claim, and Boy has really done a much better job than the previous carrier, so it's gone pretty smoothly, I would agree.
Yep.
Okay, and then the next slide will be the critical illness benefit. So ISAC also now pays for a $5,000 critical illness benefit for all employees enrolled in the health plan. This is going to cover more serious diagnosis, and you'll see under the schedule of benefits, a heart attack, cancer, stroke, organ transplant, things of that nature for a diagnosis will pay the employee a full $5,000 reimbursement directly to them, and this does not coordinate with ISAC or with the health plan. This is just a reimbursement directly back to the member. It's always guarantee issue. There's no cost for this $5,000 benefit, and it's also portable where you can take it with you post-employment at that same unit cost. And ISAC spends $3.50 per employee per month for this $5,000 benefit. On the back side of the flyer, you can also buy additional critical illness on a voluntary basis for employees and their spouse in $10,000 increments at $12.30 per $10,000. If the employee enrolls in additional critical illness, then the child gets 50% of the employee's benefit at no additional cost. Again, you can take this with you post-employment. And because ISAC buys so many of these policies on the employer side or on the association paid side, what should have been an age-based product, we got broken down into a composite rate, so it's the same rate regardless if you're 21 or if you're 65. And as you get older, this becomes a very good value at $12.30 per $10,000 per month in overall cost. Okay, and then the last couple slides here we have are the voluntary accidental death and dismemberment program. This is a legacy program that ISAC's offered for over 40 years. It's always stayed the same. This is only voluntary AD&D. Do you have a question, Haley?
Nope. Nope, I'm good.
Okay. So this is only for accidental death and or dismemberment. And it will pay based on the amount of volume that you purchase, and we'll look at that on the next slide. But it's a minimum of $25,000 up to a maximum of $250,000. And you can see based off if you're covering this for yourself, for your employee plus children or full family, you'll see the monthly amounts based on the overall benefit amount that the employee chooses. So you either have to pass away or you have to have a serious injury, the loss of an arm, a leg, eyesight for this benefit to pay out. This is much different than the accident program that we just reviewed with FOIA. Okay, does anyone have any questions? Anything that we should go back and take another look at?
No, I love the booklet and how you break it down for us.
Awesome. Okay. Well, if there are any questions that come up, Haley, you know where to reach me, and my team will be in touch with you soon to talk about renewal documents that are needed.
Okay?
We'll start updating benefit handbooks, getting Employee Navigator ready for open enrollment that starts May 1st. So a lot for our team to do here over the next couple months, but we'll certainly be in touch.
Okay, and all our board will have to do is approve to go with the renewal amounts recommended, so.
Okay.
All right, thank you,
Sounds good.
Ryan. Sorry for the delay getting you
All
going.
right, take care.
All right, bye-bye.
No problem. No problem at all. Thanks again for allowing us to do this virtually.
Yep, have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You too.
Okay, sorry, Myron, we're late. You can blame me.
I think it was half early to listen to that anyway.
You're ready, Myron.
Let's do number 3 first. I don't know if time is of essence or not, but you do have a visitor that's interested in the number 3 item. Last Friday, I had put a deadline on receiving a quote for a new motor grader to replace one of the ones that runs out of Benton. It's time to put it into our spare category and replace it with a mainline one. We reached out to Martin Equipment for a John Deere machine similar to the ones we have, as well as to Altoffers for a Caterpillar 150 machine that we most recently bought last year. The base bid for the machine, Altoffer also gave us an all-wheel drive, 6-wheel drive quote for a machine. The base bid for the John Deere 770P was $370,900. For the Caterpillar 150 tandem drive, $358,761. And for the all-wheel drive, $383,237. In the past, Caterpillar has always included a warranty with their machine, so we've always asked for a warranty if it didn't come with the machine. John Deere does not traditionally sell their machine with a warranty. To put a 7-year, 7,000-hour warranty on the John Deere machine, it would cost you another $21,200. This year, Altoffer and Cat also bid a price for the machine without a warranty to have a 7-year, 7,000-hour warranty. You would add $11,050 to that price. My recommendation is for secondary roads to purchase the Caterpillar 150 tandem drive with the 7-year, 7,000-hour warranty for $369,811. If you have any Caterpillar questions, Altoffers has a representative sitting here at the moment who could better answer than I could. Otherwise, I'd gladly take a motion from the board to go along with my recommendation, and we go ahead and get a purchase order started with Altoffer for the Cat 150 tandem drive machine.
How old is the machine you want to replace?
That's one question I didn't ask Doug before he came here, but it is basically almost a twin to the one that we replaced that used to be in Schellsburg. I think it's like 90, is that right? That year doesn't sound right.
How many hours? That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, we're up to 15,000, I think, give or take, is where that machine is at the moment. And we've got some older ones that are spare fleet that we're gonna, would trade off, not trade, but sell on that public auction. But hours and condition, it's at that point where the risk is starting to become a little bit greater to be running it on a daily basis. But it fits in with our proposed plan of trying to replace one motor grader every year, with the thought of getting in that 13 to 15,000 hour range when each one of those machines comes up for replacement.
Budgeted item?
It is.
Myron?
Yes, Bruce.
The last time when we were talking about graders, you said that there was an option or some sort of like, that Caterpillar includes the option as far as what the blade positioning or automatic blade positioning, and John Deere, that was an option you had to add. Is that still something?
I'm gonna say it might have been the opposite we were talking about last year, but the bullboard circle on both the John Deere and the Caterpillar have a premium circle where it's primarily enclosed and you do not have to do routine adjustments on the circle like we used to have to do in the past, which potentially is a very positive thing moving forward with both John Deere and Caterpillar options.
And this one will have it.
This one will have that option on the Caterpillar machine.
Okay, good, thank you. That answered my question, thank you.
And this is comparable to the one you bought a year ago.
Yeah, actually, this one is cheaper than we
Yes,
bought last time.
I do know that. And you're happy with the performance of?
This 150 that we bought most recently has not had a full opportunity to be heavily tested. It has more power, the operator has mentioned, than what he was experiencing before. Certainly the slight modifications, I think, in the snow removal aspect of things, we won't know until we get a good snow. And with all newer machines, with the exhaust requirements from the federal government, that is where the biggest impact has been right now on both heavy-duty trucks and heavy equipment, and how that's going to impact things in the future. That is why I'm recommending the warranty at least to be covered for that first 7,000 hours or 7 years, whichever comes first. Because there are some exhaust issues that very well may come up in that time frame that we would prefer that to be handled under warranty until we maybe understand and see how all of the exhaust issues that may or may not come up. We've found that's to been an added maintenance cost, but it's not avoidable because of the federal requirements.
So both the John Deere and the new Caterpillar have to run DEF, right?
Correct.
So
Yes.
it's not a-
This is not new. I mean, we've been running DEF on our new motor graders now for the last 4 or 5 machines, I think, purchased. Might even be 6, but
Question for the Caterpillar guy. After the 7,000 hours are off, can a guy go in there and change the computer so we don't have to run DEF in them?
You could, it's possible. I wouldn't recommend it only in the fact of our techs are, it's frowned upon for them to work on that type of machine, to say the least. But yeah.
Hours do you put on that a year?
Around 1,000, give or take. Each operator's a little different, but that's kind of a general rule we
You
use.
should go over your hours before you run out of years. Or close.
Be close. Sometimes winters can play, winters and springs both. Certainly when we were running 45-hour work weeks in the past, we were probably over 1,000 hours average per year, but now that we're working an 80-hour work week and we've had mild winters here recently, we have not seen as much operating time between both of those factors.
Well, I'm a John Deere man, but when it comes to money, that's a different story. So Bruce, kind of give you a heads up, you probably don't have this, but it's total package for the cat is $369,811. And compared to the deer, it's $392,000. So 23,000 higher for a deer. My loyalty is not that good, so I'll make a motion to accept the offer from Caterpillar for $369,811.
I second that.
So call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Team and I,
Bullseye.
there you go.
You know, start drawing up paperwork, and if you have it, you could stop out and have Doug go over it if you want to do it today. Otherwise, we can
Sure.
get started on it either way.
Yeah, yep.
How soon delivery?
What's that?
How soon delivery?
Well, we're looking at about 4 to 6 months, so it should be here.
120 days at least.
Really?
Yeah.
It's more on the 4, but I'd rather over, what is
We're
the
gonna use
saying?
the old one through winter
Yeah,
and into
under
spring.
promise.
Yes. It's not going to show up tomorrow. And
At least by July 1st is when it'll be at their
It
shop.
has to come from this budget.
Right, yeah.
Okay. All righty.
Perfect. Thank you.
the other two items quickly. Had an anniversary work date last week. I've got 2 weeks vacation that I did not get used. I'm requesting to carry it over. And I've already, think I've committed to a week of vacation in March, so I'm just asking for the end of May to carry that over, certainly before the end of the fiscal year, but I would anticipate maybe April or May, we'll have those 10 days used up. But if it meets with your approval, I would ask for a motion to approve vacation carryover for myself of 75 hours, 10 days.
I would move to carry the vacation over for the county engineer. How many years of service? You just had
37.
37, thank you.
I second that motion.
Okay, call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Bullseye.
4 years in, before you know it, man.
37 have gone quickly, so yeah, you're probably right.
We're 27 in.
Yeah. The other item on the agenda, we've been talking about here the last few weeks. You've received a retirement resignation from the office manager in my office. We advertised, had 17 applications. Alicia and I sat down and tried to evaluate applications. We brought 5 people in to interview. Ben Veerling, the assistant, actually sat in on all 5 of the interviews, for there was 3 of us interviewing the 5 candidates. After careful consideration, recommending that Barbara Norton be hired to fill this position, starting salary of $47,500. I would add and ask that her performance be evaluated after 6 months in July and 12 months in January, with a $1,000 increase being added at each time if things are progressing in the direction that we want that to. That is written up in a resolution number 26-4. If you meet with that approval, I would gladly take a motion to proceed with this resolution.
Bruce, you got that, didn't you?
I did get it, yes. Thank
Okay.
you.
I would make the motion to approve resolution 26-4.
I will second.
Okay, call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Rules aye.
Welcome, sir, to Benton County.
Barbara actually started yesterday and is training hard with Deb for the next 3 weeks. I say 3 weeks because after 3 weeks from the end of the month, Deb will be retired, so.
I'm always there to help out too.
Fortunately, Alicia's been in those shoes before, and she's only a phone call away and blocks away in the courthouse.
Yep.
That is all I had for you today, unless you had any questions. I know your Assured Partners carried you a little past schedule, but I know you got budgets to do, so. But if you got any questions that need to be asked, I am here at the moment.
Take one of these there.
On the bills, Bruce had one there, question about Browns.
Yes?
That was probably all the maintainers that went down.
It was for one of the machines that went down. One machine lost some gears in its transmission.
Okay.
We were in a position that we were doing a bunch of things, so we got a quote from Browns and Althoffers to do the work by them. We took it to Ames and had Browns work on it. Based on the diagnosis that we had to begin with, both of them quoted what new had to be done, but Browns found some other stuff once they were in there that either needed to be replaced or recommended to be replaced. The two invoices were for the quoted amount of activity and then the extras.
Okay. You get that, Bruce?
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Myra.
No problem. Have a good day.
You can keep that one.
Okay.
Lexi.
Hello. I'll just hand out my normal sheets that I usually give you guys. I don't know if you want one, do you?
Thank you.
There is one for Bruce too, I don't know.
Yep, I got one in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got them all organized this year.
So this is just my normal summary of activity for the recorder's office that I give to you every year. And highlighted a couple things on there, and put some totals down. So the first sheet obviously is the fiscal year 24-25. And you can see that clear over to the right, the total for that whole year, the monies that we brought into the county was $210,325.74. And the totals that went out for the year to the state departments was $461,811.66. And then the highlighted areas, I just kind of did a comparison for the fiscal year 24-25, and the next page is the fiscal year 25-26 so far. The little pink totals, the top one is going to be, we've taken in $17,581.37 more this year than last year for the county. And we've paid out $65,242.62 to the state this year compared to last year. So, just kind of wanted to go over those with you. And for our office, I think that's pretty good. We have 3 people in there. I have 2 deputies, myself and 2 deputies. I have an 85% deputy and a 55% deputy. And my 55% deputy has been at that status for 5 years, and I was planning on raising her, but I will be respectful of you guys' decision for everybody to have 0 this year, so. But in the future, I believe that she should have a little more after being there for that long at that percentage, so. That's all I have, so.
So your budget's pretty well the same this coming year.
Yeah, I left everything the same.
Yeah.
Appeared to me it was just pretty
And
much
as we
covered.
heard, insurance was the same basically, so that was nice.
Yeah, my office is, I'm pretty straightforward, not much extra in my budget, so, and I usually run pretty close to it, so.
Okay, thanks, Lex.
Yep.
She's one of them that can bring in revenue, which is nice for the passport to know that.
Yeah, the amount of money we bring in for the year is, offsets our wages pretty darn close, so.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Lex.
Oh, it's fine. I'm glad you're feeling good. Thank you.
Observation.
Dum, dum, dum.
Yeah?
It's you.
Okay, fantastic. We have the same budget sheets, and I think that were submitted in front of us, in front of you guys. Okay. We do have a couple of things we want to highlight on. Haley, are these in their packets for fiscal year?
Yep, I think the girls put those in there for you.
Awesome, yeah. So the economic impact review, on the back side of that, there's a little line highlighted, and it's pretty exciting information. The summary basically is for every $1 invested in county conservation, the economy receives 10 in output, which is a substantial return on investment. So something important, I think, to highlight, which is nice, but this is an excellent just sheet discussing strictly county conservations in an economic survey that was done.
And that's fresh numbers.
Yes, thank you. It was just completed this year, or in 2025. And then the other packet is our annual review for fiscal year '25. And it's full of all of the fun projects and everything that we're doing and have been doing in our staff, the board. There is a page 6, on the economic benefit and quality of life for us and everyone. And then another page that may specifically interest you when it comes to budget is page 13, which has conservation revenue. But I would suggest, taking a look at it, and we can always do a formal presentation on the annual reports in the future. Usually we just end up giving them to you. If you want to peruse anything. They are, all of our last 3 years, I think, are on our county website too, you can compare.
Minneestima State or County Park?
Minneestima is technically a state park that we have a 75-year lease with the DNR, or 2080 with the DNR.
Okay. That's odd.
Yeah.
That's ours.
It's confusing. It's very confusing, yeah. We essentially have all the rights to it, but not the name on the deed.
So how was your camping season last year?
It was really good. It was down a little bit from the last 2 years. I want to say, we were just looking at the numbers, every single park was down just a small amount, but our revenue is holding the same. So, for camping specifically, for day use, I would say we're up. I think it's trending more towards, go have a picnic, go on a hike, and a little less camping. The 2020 camping boom is dwindling down on those 5-year leases on campers, I think. We hit that part and some people traded in or sold. And they're going back to the routine and stuff, so.
Equipment-wise, how are you sitting?
We are.
Lawnmowers worn out?
Our lawnmowers are doing pretty good. We're substantially, we're always growing and increasing on trainings and understanding and all of that, but I would say that we have a much better routine maintenance handling on the mower situation. We've always had a rotation about every other year of maybe trading one in and getting a new one. And I think we've kind of caught up to that. So this year, we did not purchase one. And I need to look at a rotation to see if we plan on it this coming fiscal. I can pull it out on my computer if we need. But we do have, one of our upcoming things is that we did get a National Turkey Grant for a tractor. So Isaac Walton Lee contributed, our foundation contributed, Turkey Federation contributed, and then our budget and loss would contribute to that. And so we'll be able to purchase, piecemeal together with all those fundings through the grant, a tractor, which is pretty exciting. So we'll be adding that.
A replacement or an
We're
addition
adding,
to?
addition to. It's a in-between, it's smaller than the tractor that we have, so we can use it.
Smaller than the blue tractor?
Yes, so then that way we can use it on the hills and stuff, because as we know, we have plenty of hills in all of our areas.
Yes, we do. How about your cabin?
Which, we have 3.
Yeah, all at,
Well, there's one at Hannon, there's one at Winnegar, Tobin area, and then there's one at Wildcat. And they're all listed online.
and how was your rental on those last?
Hannon, the Wild Rose at Winnegar and the Red Cedar at Hannon, full all the time. Those have been established for a while. We were posting our Wildcat Den, the new one that we just outfitted on My County Parks, and we weren't getting much traction. So we switched to Airbnb, and it was posted for 24 hours, and we had already had a rental. So our hope is that that's more the clientele, rather than the rustic cabin feel in my county parks that our other two cabins are. This one's a fully fitted, house. It's not an actual cabin. So our hope is to bring in more revenue on that, big time. Just trying to
But
find out.
As an Airbnb,
It received that one, this was a recent switch, so the hope is that we can advertise more and get it on there.
okay.
So if anyone's listening, good family outing.
It would be a good winter outing for someone.
That too, yeah. The one rental family that's renting it, they even wrote on there that they're really excited because they're actually having a wedding at casinos, and it's a perfect
Oh, nice.
location for them. So we have thought about reaching out to casinos too for advertisement help.
Going over your budget, you got 20,000 again for engineering services.
Yes.
What are you planning on engineering?
So that is the one that all of our lovely surveying and all of our land stuff is coming out of. And then also it's the projects such as any engineering maybe for the enclosed shelter, those type of projects that we have going on, the bridge crossing at the OC, or the bridge crossing at the Nature Center and the OC&T bridges that are needing replaced. So all of those require services, and it's astronomical how much engineering costs for any project, unfortunately. So any big project, that wouldn't even touch it, but the idea would be hopefully we would have that as a match for a grant. We'd be able to contribute that towards an overall big project. Because some of our upcoming ones are Rogers Enclosed Shelter and Group Camp, hoping to get some money from the animal shelter and various things coming up. Facility maintenance, which is ongoing. We are currently working on a chlorination system for the Rogers Campground well, which is unavoidable at this point. And then bridge work on the Old Creamery Nature Trail and trail connectivity on the bridge behind the Nature Center. And then continuing, obviously, at Atkins and establishing that. So there's like just a highlight of a few big things coming up.
I saw, you had applications out or an ad out for applications for summer help?
Yes.
People applying, looking
Yes.
good?
Looking really good. We had, we were just talking about this last night at the meeting, we had a really large influx of well-qualified college students and return applicants.
Good.
And I think a lot of it has to do with the team that has been built. So when it comes to the expenditures, between funds 01 and 02, which are both general and general supplemental, we do a total decrease of 18,000 for this budget. The only thing would be the additional 50,000 for the building that we've been requesting every year.
Replace the one that's,
Yeah, we've been trying to save the 50,000 a year for any big upcoming building and whatnot, so that would contribute towards the enclosed shelter, plus whatever, again, grants and anything that we sell, you know.
and it looks like you'd have 112,500 in there.
That is lost, it would be the 150. It's currently at 100, and then we just added 50. It's a line below that.
Line below it.
Mhm.
And that would be for the building?
Yeah. So it's a total decrease of the 18, around the 18,300, but then if you incorporate that, it would increase. But I know Tracy had said something about, you know, planning for the big bills and whatnot, so that's why that's in there.
But you already got,
100 in there.
well, no, but
Oh,
a total different line, you got a buildings and grounds for 70,000 right now, budgeted in.
that we have spent out of lost, and we just budget the same every year for that. That's 112,500.
Or are you looking at building grounds maintenance?
Oh,
Yeah.
in our general.
Yes.
That's out of the general. So that'd be, you know, just the general maintenance of the campgrounds and buildings.
I know I saw it.
Yeah, it's it's 6110, 4410. I'm not sure what page it would be on your guys's.
It's like page 3. Yep.
Guess in the future, I could always put their budgets up here too for a
Oh, yeah, like a point.
Yeah.
I like
I
that.
thought about that, but since I was just on there,
Yeah,
maybe next year we'll revamp it a little.
that's fun.
Laser pointer.
Yeah, we need to buy that.
Maybe it'd be easier to print out what line items and
Yeah,
stuff.
you're like, you talking this way? No, it doesn't look like that. Well, we had a funny one, it was last year during budget, remember? We were all in here and we were all seeing something different than Tracy, and we're like, is he in the wrong sheet? And we were just all on the wrong page. So yeah, that would help.
That's kind of why I do their revenues separate than expenditures too. Because if you look at those, if you run them as a whole.
Yeah.
Now, did the Rangers go up in their diapers?
We did not.
They did
no.
not change.
You did not?
That is something that we are going to be keeping an eye on because this legislative
Yeah,
session.
they
they're
could
trying
change
to
it in the
change
middle of it like they did the
Yeah.
sheriffs. Or
So
come
you've got-
June.
We don't have it budgeted for the change.
No, but I assume you have people working on that for you?
Well,
Lobbyists.
kind of, yeah.
It's like the sheriffs that come in June and the budget was already done, so they were already.
I don't know if we'll end up getting it or not. They're just trying to have us match the sheriff.
Legislation just started.
Yeah.
Yes. I didn't know if that went through last year. It did
No,
not.
apparently it got close, but so they were trying to just get the protected class essentially, right, eliminated in a way and just move to match. You know, if you're certified law enforcement or if you work in the law enforcement field, you get,
But your Rangers are certified law.
we are, yeah. Yeah, but it's not treated the same, so then, you know. So I don't know, that one we might have to figure out if that passes. I honestly, I don't know what the temperature is in Des Moines, so.
Yeah.
And then they would definitely have to do budget amendment probably for that.
I would guess, I mean, with 5 of us, I don't think it'd be
I mean,
substantial.
your guys' wouldn't be as big as the sheriff's.
Right, yeah, I think it'd be,
Would be about a what, 2.5% increase? in
yeah,
that?
and right now we're sitting at, well, actually, I could grab my computer and tell you exactly what the difference would be. If you want to know. I don't think it'd be terrible.
You got page 7 over there on what they give us.
What line item? Or I can just, Oh, yeah, okay.
going over these, you got 50,000, that's Carol Sue Donovan, I get that.
Yep, that's not.
Yeah, but then you got the 150,000 for land.
So that's the building. So this is the title, but that isn't, this 1,600 is a special conservation fund, reserve fund for county conservation, so.
Okay, so it's not land.
That's not land.
Okay.
No, that's just the title of it.
Okay,
That's the fund, Tracy, we transfer money into that one if they need extra.
okay.
We do a transfer resolution, not a general basic to land acquisition.
And that's the same one that we can put, like, working with Gina, we're figuring out that that's the one we can put, like, our
Yeah.
grants and all of our other stuff into, and then we don't have to worry about it coming out of the tax.
Because it's not a levied fund.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that isn't actually
So
for land, it's just
it's not-
titled that.
Okay.
It's just, call it the conservation fund and
Yeah.
that's it.
So like, same with like her REAP, it's, or not REAP, but like the CDBG grant one we use.
Yeah. Yep.
That's not a levied fund either, that comes from, that's that pass-through.
And that was a question last night that we had with an individual that was at our meeting. They were super confused, they're like, why did conservation get $600,000? I'm like,
Tree
we
grant.
didn't.
Yeah.
Like,
And that's just it, the general tax, the payers don't understand that when
Yeah.
they hear that, because it's not levied funds.
Right.
And it's not in the, it doesn't follow the numbering system.
Yeah, so this is a unique, these two, well, actually, these and REAP, so 23, 1,600, and 3,000 are all special funds for us,
Okay.
from stuff that comes in.
But if she doesn't have a grant, then obviously she can't spend out of that fund.
Right.
Because there would be no fund balance.
It's like a separate account. But this is asking for spending authority for building, like that's specifically what we've been saving for. And
Yeah.
then the request would be that you guys could potentially give us this if we're moving forward. So that's why I'm specifically bringing up that 50 for building addition.
Okay. But then total your budget has actually went up then, right?
So if you take out the 50, it goes down,
Yeah.
actually. So that's what I was trying to point out. It actually
Okay.
goes less if you don't count the 50,000 for the building.
Okay, and then also when I was looking at everybody's wages, evidently, yours stayed the same, but
Yes.
everybody else's went up.
Yeah, I absolutely will not, I'll follow the elected officials on that one for sure. But then I did put in raises for the rest of the staff. But we still end up going down if you want to take out the 50 for the building. So, yeah, doesn't that would be less? Be like 180 something.
I guess what I'm looking at is that I personally, you knew that, 0 wages.
Right, so then I instead decreased and offered wages. Because it was brought to my attention that we'll look at everything and we want to keep the budget the same.
But on the same token, with the 50,000, which you're gonna need to replace that pavilion that you got, because that's in sad shape.
What's your total estimate on the new pavilion?
It was entirely too high. It was.
Over $1 million.
Yeah, it was like 1.2, I mean, that was with a rock,
The amphitheater.
an amphitheater, yeah, and this, it was a whole revamp of the area. It would have
Okay.
been, so not just the building. I think if we broke out the building, we were looking at 800, which still high.
That's,
Big, and yeah, rentable facility with bathrooms.
it would
and-
be enclosed with bathrooms and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, so. We could potentially
Yes.
look at changing that a little bit, obviously.
If we allow you to give your employees a raise, it's gonna make it rough on everybody else.
Yeah. I completely and totally respect and understand that. I think it's important to,
You need to reward employees for doing good work. I am 100% behind that, but right now, it's just gonna be difficult.
I have some, the concerns that I have on this is that, if we can find room in our budget to increase the employees' wages, then those cuts should probably have been already made to the budget. I mean, if it's kind of like, we can make this work, so what would your budget be without those raises included?
So
I
we
mean,
were,
that's the actual, because we said no raises, and I just, we're not increasing.
unfortunately, we had to hire replacements in the last year and a half. And with that, what was budgeted for the individuals that left with tenure, what we hired was lower. So that was a salary saving situation there. We didn't obviously hire at the max situation. So we were able to, in that, work the raises in.
I get it, but the whole deal is we said 0 raises.
Right.
I did it.
Right, that was the preference for 0 raises, and it was also multiple times stated, keep the budget as it is for the bottom dollar, which we're doing. With, again, the exception of the difference would be the 20 on the building, like, you know, with the difference, 20 something, 30. So we were able to kind of eat the raises with the hiring since we lost tenure.
It would be my opinion, we need to go back and remove the raises. That's my opinion. That way we're staying as much as we can, because you gotta understand, there's 2 departments that are gonna get raises regardless.
Right.
Union contract. We have written a letter requesting them to go outside of the contract. I don't foresee that happening. It would surprise me. That would be my recommendation. And however you, other 2 fellows feel, that's,
I feel like no raises. I said that, I've been saying that to make it fair for all the county employees. You guys get a raise, that you make it work in your budget, the
Well,
next one will say the same thing.
Sure. I don't think it's all the in-county employees, since there's union contracts as well. Which I know it's a whole other ballgame, absolutely, it's contractual.
but we have written a letter saying, would you go
Would you
outside the
please?
contract and let the raises go this year?
Sure.
I don't see that happening, but we've asked.
I prefer to consider it and throw out the term fair, because I would love to see everybody get a raise, and because everybody works very, very hard. And we have an employment package that is wonderful, but the term I like to use is consistent. Are we going to be consistent with every department that doesn't have a contractual raise? And if we're going to remain consistent, then we have to say no raises. That's it. But, and the word fair it doesn't, nothing's fair anymore.
Sure.
But we got to try to remain consistent. And that's where I'm at with it.
I think you're catching our drift, ain't you?
Yeah, you guys would prefer to see no raises.
Yes.
I got that.
Okay. All right.
As far as your building fund, I realize for what you're looking at, and I assume you would have to do new cement with foundation and everything
Oh,
for whatever you're
Everything,
doing.
yes, needs re.
So, $150,000 in a building.
No, we know that. We definitely know that. Something that county conservation's been, really good at is bringing in other funds.
Yes.
To accomplish
Extremely
projects.
good at that.
Yeah, that's that staff Then they're really good.
I know for most other things, there are not brick and mortar grants.
Is there a
I
way,
have my eye on one, but it requires 50% match.
is there a way that you can apply for any REAP money?
Competitively, yes, I could, but competitively, I don't think that we would be able to compete. There's another one that's a little bit more fitting,
Okay,
but that one requires 50% match.
okay.
So if we could, that's kind of,
When does that do?
it's due this May.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's pretty soon.
That's quick.
So, and that was the one that I had my eye on for a while, since we actually have a design, and we could say that, you know, we're phasing it out, so we do building only, then the amphitheater and stuff later, you know, work in phases. But, part of that is building this up, seeing what we can get for like the animal shelter. We have a bid that's out for auction right now, you know, doing things like that to put together, matching funds and, you know, some fundraising or other grants. It's just, unfortunately, a lot of the grants, you know, you have to have it all lined up before you can submit. It's not just we're hoping to eventually accomplish. Also, something that's been a noticeable difference with what we're experiencing is our grants are becoming more competitive. More people are applying because conservation generally, as Tracy has pointed out, tries to get the axe first unless we advocate, and hopefully understanding the economic impact, realizing the investment in the county as a whole that it is. So we are experiencing kind of a higher rate of competition across the state and the country, depending on what application we're putting in. So something to consider there is, I mean, we're good, but you're only so good, especially when some of these places are hiring grant writers and they have unlimited matching funds, so.
Can you, I know last year we talked a lot about the green of the lakes.
Mhm.
Is there, the state was supposed to do something and they didn't?
Yeah, they didn't because of the weather, was my understanding, that way too much rain. We just talked about this last night at the meeting too. Several years ago, they did a really good application, and for an example, it cost $26,000 just to treat Rogers. So we don't obviously have that we can just throw it at just Rogers. That doesn't include Hannon, for treatment. So they're hoping, maybe we'll see if we get additional treatment this year.
Is this something we gotta do every year?
So if we could get the nutrient loading that's happening, like a better handle on that, that's better. So for instance, right now, one of the big projects we have coming up is the Hannon Watershed Project. We're working with the DNR to get our
Settlement.
yeah, it would be dredged, the lake would be drained and dredged out and kind of reestablished because, you know, over time, the erosion and everything, you know, we collect it in our lakes. Yeah, and so we're working on that, and we're looking at, I don't remember how much, it's gonna be a lot. Of course, it'll be state funding for the majority of it, and we can count as match. So what the plan would be is after Hannon, we would start working towards Rogers, but until we can get to that point, treatment. Annually, we treat a couple of times a year throughout the summer, but you can't do large batches of treatment because you'll kill all the fish.
Don't do that.
Yeah, so you can do a little bit at a time, but then depending on what the weather does, you know, too much rain, not enough rain, all of it affects the algal blooms with the nutrient load that's in
They
there.
have no control over that.
No, not really. And so it depends.
That was the one negative thing I heard people talk about
Yeah,
last
with the
summer
algae.
was, well, the lake.
Mhm. It's frustrating for us because we'd like to make it
And I
nice.
know nothing about it.
Yeah.
Not gonna pretend I do.
It was kind of wild. You could see where our boat went through and treated. you could see the swaths that were open, if there was no wind, and then obviously you couldn't tell after that, but, you can't do too much because,
We'll kill the fish.
just because of the oxygen decomposition of the plants. Not because it's toxic to the fish, for clarification. Fish is still safe.
Well, I think you got our feelings on that. I'm not against the 50,000 to put aside for the boat, or not boat, building,
Buildings at Hannon?
This would be
No.
up to Rogers.
Rogers.
rather.
Even though it will increase our budget, so.
Yes, it will, but on the same token, it'll come down when you figure out the wage increases.
Right, but I mean, it'll still be an increase overall though. Because the wage increase is super minimal, like I said, because
Okay,
it's.
I don't know
by
what
the
they
other.
are, so whatever, like it says. All right.
I have no more questions or comments.
Bruce, you got anything?
No, not right now, no, thank you.
All right, let's do the IRM now.
So Shelby, whenever you adjust that, just resend it and we'll do the reports again.
Thursday night, 6:30.
Yeah, I'll hear you.
She's not gonna show up again.
No, she's not.
They're trying to get her on the board.
On the plant zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So they're scaring off the public for not coming if they come and get
That
appointed.
is not what we're trying to do.
I can hear.
Yeah, my goodness.
Oh, yeah, it's been the radio.
No,
Oh.
we're on
Stomach.
stomach growling. Oh, yours is too? Everybody's hungry.
Excellent time to be in here, yeah, next time.
Good thing, man. It's that Henley. Not the. Okay. Lose every time.
So is there only two sheets then?
Yeah, this is a very small budget.
He doesn't really get a lot of revenue other than grants, so I didn't even print that report for you.
Yeah, that one's, and it's just, that one's a guess, kind of.
Yeah. They had that grant last year, but that was basically, unless he's applying for any.
So.
We usually do every year, but I don't know how much.
Yeah. I didn't run the revenue report for him.
It's 3 lines anyway.
I know. Well, he has 2 different service areas though, a little bit.
He does?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did we get him?
It's
It's all
all
on one
combined,
page.
but if you look
Okay.
at, if you look at it,
got it.
60, 10, and 71.
yeah.
Yes.
2
I
different.
got it.
Very small.
So 7 would be he's with Myron on some of that engineers service area.
Well, let me see if we got it
Now,
under
did
the
they get a
salary.
raise too?
Mm-hmm.
Shelby, some of you guys' wages still come out of there, correct?
2,900.
Yes.
Okay. Make sure we know that for payroll for this fiscal year too.
Yeah, Alicia and I were talking about that.
Okay.
So we can use, because I saw in the safety and protective gear, under the 610, there was nothing. No money budgeted, but then under the 7140,
Oh, yeah.
I do see there's money budgeted.
Yeah, so we kind of, we moved that down.
You just combined them? or-
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because, so the way that, in the uniform charts, it was kind of like that top section's more lead commissioner and the manager administrative side, and then the rest is kind of field side, so that's why we moved the safety equipment down.
Okay. Because we have to keep up with our
Yes.
safety and protective, or we're gonna end up in big trouble with our insurance rates.
Yes, we will keep that up.
We can't afford trouble there.
Back when these two guys wasn't here, when we give this IRM to you guys to take over, didn't we agree that we were gonna meet like in November? The following year to see how it was tracking out?
I think it said January at the, yeah, it said year 1 or 2 reassess in January, which would be this January,
Okay. We haven't done it
to
yet.
make sure that it's working well. Yeah, we sure can. I mean, if we want to, essentially, it would have been nice if they just came to the meeting last night for the steering committee.
Both were out of the state, so.
Yeah, that doesn't really recommend it.
So let's get that one on the books and get it taken care of.
I guess my curiosity is, what are you doing what's your job description of the extra money you're getting out of the IRM?
Sure. I got my computer. I think a big contributing factor is that we allow, Cecilia and I specifically, allow Eric to be in the field substantially more with the guys by the office stuff that we do. And then for Zach, it would be lining up equipment, sharing, and assisting with that when they take the sprayers and doing the burning and being able to coordinate all of that. So give me 1 second here.
Do you know, are they planning on spraying with one person in a truck or 2?
1.
Could we have Eric sometime come and present what he did last night? 'Cause
Oh,
that
yeah.
was awesome.
Yeah, and it is on, it will be on the county website as well. We post it on the county website every year after the meeting. The PowerPoint gets posted, and then so does just kind of the notes from the meeting. Because per state code, we have to meet once a year in January, just as an update.
I just thought for these other two guys to get caught up what they're doing, because he's doing an excellent
Was it
job.
like for the IRBM update or something?
Yeah,
He had an excellent PowerPoint last night,
yeah.
really good.
So that's an example, it's something that we help him with. There's a lot of administrative support, so stabilizing staff and leadership, structural goals overall. It helps having kind of like that tiered system. And
So when a weed complaint comes in, do you guys get it, or does he get it?
it goes immediately to him, and then him and I talk about it. And then it comes down to occasionally, there are safety concerns, and so then I can arrange for a ranger to be nearby, for instance. You know, there's a bunch of kind of moving parts on the day-to-day that you don't even think about that end up being much more efficient with the team that we have in place. So that's a huge benefit.
But last year when he got fully staffed, Zach never did drive a truck though, helped spray, did he?
I don't think he did, but Ethan did. So Ethan was working for us, and he went back, and Kara and Zach both drove the trucks to get comfortable, so they're ready just in case, but Ethan ended up doing many days in the spray truck. So we had like some overlap there to keep it going.
Well, you can understand what I'm getting at. We're trying to save money,
Sure.
so that's for another discussion.
The wage here, I see there's a slight increase. We need to
That
go
would be for
back-
Eric, yeah.
We need to go back to a 0 there. And
I'm wondering, I'm looking at the motor vehicle at the bottom page,
I was just looking at that.
Are there plans to, because there's 60,000 in the budget, but 0 activity year to date? Is there a vehicle that we're looking at getting,
I
or?
think that's it. I think that's in the claims. It was just picked up last week.
We just, yeah,
Yeah,
we just
so
okayed it.
a lot of our,
Okay.
54,000 if I remember right, 54, 57?
yeah, a lot of our big ticket items like that will remain, like even conservations, ours is currently 0 for vehicle, but we'll have one in the next couple of months. It takes,
Okay.
waiting for state bid and picking them up, it just takes so much time, and then they stay 0 and then all of a sudden they're empty, so.
And see, then Bruce, the other thing is this new truck that they just picked up, they sent it out to Washington, correct?
Mhm.
And they're gonna put another tank and a sprayer on that new truck,
Okay.
which we haven't got the bill for that yet.
It'll be months.
Yeah, and hopefully, which I know it won't happen, but it won't come in this fiscal year.
Yeah, that's the hope.
I
I know, same, I'm with you, Tracy, yeah, same, but.
And a lot of times too, some of the departments, Bruce, will commit money, so say they put 20,000 in there, but there's no activity for a couple years, and then come year 3, they might put in 60,000, because that's when they want to purchase it.
Good, and I appreciate that, and I think that's an excellent way to do it. Yeah, and I know that we're only 6 months into the budget year, so that was just caught my eye.
Yep. Yeah, so that one will be wiped out next month.
Okay, thank you.
But there's no plans to buy another truck then, 26, 27, right? Or are they planning on buying just a pickup?
That would be just a pickup if all is well. But not the big chassis.
That would actually, well, the 2 spray trucks, you can't count on them, because they're gonna be mainly spray trucks.
Yeah, they're not run around vehicles.
Yes, and then,
Cause like yesterday, he was running around in his personal vehicle,
okay.
you know, to
Yeah,
get some
and
stuff.
see that I'm trying to remember, the truck that they got was, 3-in-1 thing. It had the box on it and the sides. Did that get purchased before Eric? I can't remember. I'm thinking it was.
I feel like it was just there.
Yeah, I'm thinking it was.
Yeah, that might have been George.
I don't remember.
I think it was
Yeah,
It was?
George, yeah.
I think it was George,
Okay.
yeah.
'Cause that's the one that's supposed to do 3 different jobs.
Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, it gets used an awful lot.
Yes, I know it. That's what they use to haul the skid loader around. It's big enough. Okay.
Let's talk, this is not a budget, well, it is kind of, it is a budget thing. It concerns the sheriff's budget with snow removal.
Okay.
Do you guys believe you could go down and help them?
IRM,
IRM.
yeah.
Because the last snow removal bill we paid was $2,500,
Wow.
so we'd like to cut that expense.
So I think something to consider for that, I guess we'd have to have we could have a conversation about that for sure. For expectations, since,
Yeah, it was before you guys, and it was before Eric
Yeah.
again.
yeah, exactly,
It
yeah.
was before you and see when everybody else, the new stuff comes along, you guys, Terry, he did not know what we agreed on when they purchased some of the stuff, when they got the skid loader, when they got that blade for it. You know, that's one of the reasons I got it. They were supposed to help snow removal around the sheriff's office.
Well, and that's when they were moved back in that building too, wasn't it?
Yes,
Interesting, okay.
yes, where they're at now. And, you know,
So I guess my concern would be like an example, these last few snows were on Saturday, and sheriff's office runs 24/7.
This is one of the deals I brought up too.
Yeah, so what does that
That
look
makes it
like?
tough.
Yeah, I understand that.
'Cause you guys are
I like
around
that.
at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Right, and they live, you know, they're commuting from out of county
Yeah.
to work here currently. We're lucky to have them in that sense, you know, so.
Could, I guess does Zach have access to the building or anything?
Well, and I guess that goes back to the conversation of like, what would the expectations be? What does this look like for our department and helping? Like, I think this would be another whole other conversation.
Well, yeah, I'm just kind of getting it started here.
Right, because then it'd
Especially
be
now we're thinking,
on call and, you know,
Now we're talking snow over the weekend possibly.
yeah.
Uh,
Because then then you're just, like, just with the Zach comment, you're kind of like taking advantage of an employee because of close.
Yeah, and I was trying to think of who else lived close.
Right, which I get, but it's just one of those that was,
And he popped right to mind.
yeah.
And I don't know where Cece lives, or I tried to throw her under the bus too.
But we know where Ron lives.
I'll have to keep. It's just, if we can work something out, and I'm sure the sheriff would probably say, I would just as soon pay one of those folks to jump in that equipment and
Rather
do
than a
it.
contract.
I think we need to look at working something out, and
Yeah, because we got called actually after the last snow from the sheriff's office and they said, hey, we got a problem with how you did this. And I was like,
they didn't do
I
it.
didn't do it, like, what do we?
And I'm thinking that,
Talked about getting bids too again, didn't we?
Yes,
Just in case.
We
did we
get a
ever?
We did.
bid. We got a bid, but we never got, there's no contract.
You know, the main area that we would have concern with is the ramp in and out of the garage on the overnight or the weekends. Because the other could be done basically when they come in on Mondays, because we have, I don't think anything left is a rear-wheel drive or a two. I think everything's four-wheel drive.
It's another bridge I'm thinking about crossing, but I'm not quite there yet. Because it's easy for somebody to stand over here and point out saying, you know, you don't do this. You could do this. And I'm trying to be in the middle of it.
We gotta figure the logistics.
Yes.
For sure.
'Cause I mean, you guys don't you have 3 pickups with snow blades on? You know, so maybe you guys could actually do this here too, but like you said, when this was brought to my attention here 4 weeks ago when we got that deep snow, I was on you guys' side like, okay, it snowed on the weekend. How's this gonna work?
That's the level of
Where you went on
expectation.
here.
Yeah,
Right, of like, you know, do you want an employee to make it into town and crash somewhere to be on call kind of situation, and what does that look like for compensation and all of that jazz, that's,
yeah.
We gotta get
See,
through the
that's what we're
logistics.
looking at, that, you know, if they come in and work on Saturday or Sunday, this was brought to my attention that, all right, they don't work Monday or Tuesday then. You know, you could do it that way maybe,
But that's you, that's not,
yeah.
right.
But like I said, we're just throwing it out there, this is some of the stuff that's been talking to me, and I've been sitting on it, I don't know the answer.
Yeah, no.
Trying
I
to make
totally get
everybody
it.
happy and actually save the taxpayers money.
Well, that's the gig right there. I mean, when we're trying to cut spending, we have to look at everything and we have to give it a really good look. And this is the starting process of, you know, we can cut a couple $1,000. That's, you know, so
How does
talking
it,
about it and, you know, kicking it around at this point is a good idea.
how does it work with secondary? Are those guys on call then on snow weekends?
Yeah, they get a phone call.
Sure, but they're like put on notice, like, hey, there's a snowstorm.
Well, yeah, they'll know it before, you know, like Friday,
Sure.
you know. They'll know it when they leave, and then I believe-
My husband rotates month, or weekends when they're on call.
Yeah, then they start calling, you know.
I think they've even called guys in off vacation before.
Yes, they have, well, they called them in during deer season, because I had two people really
Agitated, not deer.
wasn't happy. First season was only 5 days long, and
Yeah.
what happened first season? Snow on the weekend.
I would assume then, in that sense, they're getting time and a half or something.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, if they're over 40, yes,
Right.
yes.
And if, let's say if CC said, yep, I'll take care of the snow duty this weekend if it snows, we'd have to pay her above and beyond.
Right.
Or could we offer them, instead of taking the next Monday or Tuesday off, could we offer them a floating, say, added to the end of your vacation, so you get one more day of vacation?
Well, we call it comp time. If they don't pay out, it's comp time.
Yeah, that could,
Do something like that, make it a little bit more of an incentive. It says, well, I don't want Monday off because I don't have anything I can do, but if you allow them to float that,
sure,
maybe that'll work.
yep.
Just the talking stage now.
Yeah. No,
Just throwing ideas. out.
Nothing we're gonna hold you to if we get
Yeah.
a foot of snow Sunday.
well, I
No
know.
shovels, I'm out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't
Here's the
lift.
input.
I'm out.
I know, I'm, like, currently with how we sit, IRM and Conservation's willing to help with whatever, like how here needed it and.
Yes, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
phone call and that
Yeah,
guy was
we're
here.
here to
Boom.
help, it's just we
Yeah.
need to know what the level of expectation is on the regular, what is needed, just, not having that be the regular unless that is the level of expectation and we have something
Yeah.
figured out, so.
It's just an idea that's been, like it
Yeah,
says,
I get that. I mean,
talked to
that's-
me, that it's kind of, realistically, when you think about it, you guys got 3 pickups with blades, and we hire somebody that's got a pickup and blade, is that smart? So, we're just the talking stage.
Yeah.
I don't know if it can happen this year yet or not. I mean, technically, hopefully, winter's a month and a half behind us. I hope,
Who knows?
so.
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
that's about it, I guess. We hit on you pretty hard, I think. But,
that last one, throwing that at you, that was kinda hit you off.
but otherwise, as for the weed department, like same way as with the conservation, that 0 raises. We get it.
But if you're, I guess, open to sitting down and just discussing it at this point, because I don't know where, I know where Zach lives. I know where you live. That's it. So for all I know, somebody lives across the street from there.
Well, I mean, the secondary road guys, they live all over too.
Yes,
It comes more to knowing
but,
if you should be expecting to come in and working on a weekend or not, when you're not scheduled to.
Right.
If somebody's got a wedding or they're gonna be gone.
Yes, that's the main
Might
thing.
have some cocktails in them, you don't wanna call them in.
Correct.
well, you can't.
Correct. So it's more so the on-call, like in the
Yep.
summer, the Rangers, we have somebody on 24/7, that's totally different than in the winter, that's, not the case, so.
Thank you very much.
I would agree, they would need an on-call thing.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what
We'd
I'm
have to work
thinking.
those logistics out somehow.
Yeah, well, I will talk to the board about this conversation, about all of the whole
Sure.
conversation.
Good.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Cece, you're awful quiet.
Just listening.
Okay.
Shelby said it best.
All right, thank you.
And did you explain the reserved account, like how we're gonna change that in the land acquisition, right? So if we change it,
The 1,600 count, yeah, that 1,600 count that has the building
So that might change.
Yeah.
once
That
we
might
get
change
some of those
again.
line items, but that's all gonna be only grant. She's not gonna spend it unless there's grant money.
Just,
Or like the building
Yeah.
could go into that and then it just sits there and then so it's like, we're not, it's called conservation land, but acquisition, but it's not for
But it can be
the-
for other things. It's just how the fund was created.
The fund was, it specifically says, for land acquisition and capital improvements is what it's for. And that was in 1984 is when it was created, in case you were wondering.
it seems like.
So like if she doesn't have enough grant money or whatever, that's where we come in and say that fund needs a transfer of revenue from general basic. That's where it affects the levy funds. Otherwise, it's strictly her donations or like how she purchased the ground it.
It's like a self-sufficient fund.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a. it's a
But
little tricky.
we're the pass-through kind of, per se.
I get it, but
Yeah.
I was wondering about if there's a way you could add something to that,
I think we're gonna do project codes
okay?
and then we're gonna track it that
Because I
way.
have a problem with the land accusation.
Oh, you want the title
I
changed.
have a major problem with that.
Yeah. Well,
Building, I have no problem with
There's
that.
funds underneath, that's
yeah,
just the fund.
there's line
title.
items under it,
I
so.
get it, but I
So
mean,
we're-
But the public
sees
sees it,
that.
yes, I know.
But we are gonna
You-
code it as such.
Okay.
So say it's the grant
You
money,
heard
kinda
out in
like,
public last night.
I know, and I keep trying to explain, but it doesn't matter how many
Totally
times you
wrong.
explain.
Totally wrong,
Apparently, it's out there that
yeah.
we just got the Fen paid off, we haven't paid off Wildcat, and then we got that 600,000 just given to us from the
Oh.
county. And I'm like, all of that's false.
people don't understand or ask.
You're right, yeah.
They don't go to the source to begin with, probably.
Right, yeah.
But-
So
But it's-
Wildcat's paid off.
We're gonna try to do hers, similar like how we do Grace's public health codes,
Okay,
like different grants, different,
okay.
they're all gonna, that way it's
Yep.
tracking and she can run reports and it's specific to that,
We can show it coming in, but then we
Yep.
have to,
both
Okay.
ways, yeah.
And it will be out of the general fund, so it's
Yeah.
not the tax,
Yeah.
which is nice.
yep.
All righty. Thanks, girl.
The insurance, did we wanna? I did put discuss act on the health dental insurance rates, if you're ready to, just like, approve his recommendations and go with those renewals.
Okay, that's fine. Thank
That
you.
way I can, do you wanna act on
You hear that,
that one?
Rose?
Number
No,
nine.
that was the background noise.
Number nine, I did have on there after the presentation from Ryan with the Assured Partners, if you want to discuss act on the health, dental, and vision rates that he presented.
Oh, okay.
That way we know, but, and it is what I had the departments already put in their budget, but that way it's official and we have it in our minutes to reflect those amounts. Because I'll list out the amounts and stuff as such. Dental, eye, all that. And that is if you still want to split the 50/50, keep the employees share the same. I guess I can put it back on next week if you want
No, you're good.
to eat on it or look, you know.
I'd like to give Bruce a week to look at his,
Yeah, we can wait another week and then I'll tell you what the employee share is and stuff too again if you want.
take a look at the book that presented us.
Okay.
I would appreciate that.
Okay.
The opportunity to do that, yeah.
Yep, I'll put it back on next week.
Okay, thank you.
I won't be here, but you'll be fine without me here. I'll send you the stuff ahead of time. I get my staples out. See you
Well,
later.
I'm planning on returning. My flights are scheduled tomorrow afternoon, so hopefully Thursday on the way back from Tama, if the meeting gets over early enough, I can swing up to Denton real quick and grab
Okay.
whatever.
Do you want me to take your folder back in the office then with me?
Would you please do that? Yeah, and I'll try to swing in on Thursday.
Okay, yep, it'll be there for you.
Thank you.
Derek?
I got nothing. I'm just here for questions.
Kind of like Cece today, you're awful quiet.
That's, for me, that's a good sign. I'll have to pipe up.
Boss, anything unfinished or old or new?
No. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
A second.
All in favor, say aye.
Tippit aye.
Aye.
Bye.
All right.